everyone, and welcome to Digital Drops, Sustainable Water Solutions with InfoDrainage. My name is Juliana, and I work in marketing here at MicroCat. And today's presenter is Tim, our applications specialist. At today's webinar, we'll explore innovative water management and how InfoDrainage offers cutting edge solutions for sustainable drainage design. As usual, throughout the webinar, you can ask a question at any given point on the left hand corner. You can ask Tim to revisit a step or ask any questions. This is your time, and we want you to make the most of it. And in the upper left hand, you will find links to our social media, website, and YouTube channel. We post all of our webinars there at the end so you can share with colleagues or will watch it on your own time. And without further ado, I'll pass it on to Tim. Hi, Tim.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for the intro. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay, you probably see my slideshow in front of you.
Yep.
I titled this, Why You Need to Replace Autodesk Storm and Sanitary Analysis with Autodesk, and I use the word InfoVise, InfoDrainage. Okay. So that word InfoVise is being retired. InfoVise was a company out of Portland, Oregon, providing water solutions, things like InfoDrainage, as well as integrated catchment modeling, water distribution modeling, so water delivery and that sort of stuff through pressure pipes, and then water infrastructure asset management, which is like if I'm the owner of the pipe network, I want to be able to manage that. And so that would be InfoWorks WS Pro. Okay, but now that name InfoVise being retired, that's now the Autodesk Water Infrastructure Solutions. Still based in Portland, Oregon, a couple other offices around the world, and of course tied to Autodesk now. So what InfoDrainage does really is it's a new way of designing drainage instead of the old way where you just, you stuck a grate somewhere and put pipes under it to run whatever got in through the grates out to a creek or something, and that was kind of the way it was done. Well, that causes problems. Number one, the grates don't let everything through, and you can get backups, etc. Plus, any pollutants that are being flushed off your roads are going to go straight into the drain, straight out to your creeks. So what InfoDrainage does is this provides green infrastructure design. Okay. Now you get BIM compliance, meaning that it's backwards and forwards compatible with Civil 3D. Green infrastructure allows you to, this does things like exceedance routes, checks overland flow corridors, okay? And then sustainable drainage systems, or SUDS. That is going to be new to Autodesk as well. That lets you do things like permeable pavements, rain gardens, green roofs. These are all things that if you're currently using Autodesk Storm and Sanitary Analysis, or SSA, you can't do this sort of design. Too far. Okay, so I've mentioned Autodesk SSA a couple of times. And so I did, let me make sure I didn't, yeah, we're good. Okay. You can tell I'm really good with PowerPoint. So this just tells you, what is SSA, or Storm and Sanitary Analysis? This is the software that comes with Civil 3D at no extra charge. You're allowed to install it and use it and do your calculations with it, etc. But this really is an example of what they would call hard engineering. If you design a parking lot, all the oils and all the other particulates, pollutants are going to end up going straight into the storm drain, out through the pipes to the creek. Where nowadays you're doing soft engineering. So now you're trying to run your pollutants through things like plant uh, plant roots and the plants themselves, and different types of dirts for filtration, etc. So instead of flushing everything out to some creek that I'm no longer responsible for it, you run it through the soft engineering to filter out those particulates and pollutants. I here in the town I'm in, Northern California, Redding, California, smallish city, 100,000 or so. So they built a new Costco recently, which is a big project for our area. I was walking through the parking lot and I noticed these rain gardens. So I asked a friend of mine that knew about the project, who's the civil engineer on this? And it happened to be a customer of ours uh, who uses InfoDrainage for their design. And so they did this design for this great big Costco parking lot with rain gardens. It's a sustainable drainage parking area. They wouldn't have got that job had they not been able to provide those services. Costco would have given that job to someone else, right? So here's some of the benefits they mention here. If you're doing hydraulics, your EPA swim engine is kept current with InfoDrainage. It shows some other types of simulations, overland flow simulations. Okay, I'm not going to read all this for you, but I'll blather on here for a moment so you can read a little bit of it yourself. Okay, the other big deal is the comparative reporting that InfoDrainage will do. So here's an example over here where it's comparing an existing phase to a completed design phase. And it shows the max inflows, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And you can see what data you want it to show. These are the settings. Okay. Here's the overall report, but this is a blown up, zoomed in part of that. These are a couple of examples of the different types of green infrastructure that the software provides. So your rain gardens and filtration trenches and ponds, and you'll see those here in InfoDrainage. Okay, here's green roof. Okay, now I could go here's my storm water controls here. Okay, and you can see here, you can do an arch chamber, et cetera, et cetera. Here's my rain garden. Okay. These are things that you won't do with Autodesk Storm and Sanitary. Okay, I came out with this kind of a workflow, which is what I think most Civil 3D users want to know about. You're going to start off and lay out your pipes and manholes, or pipes and structures, I should use the right term, in Civil 3D using Civil 3D pipe networks, right? Gravity flow networks, sewer, storm drain. And then you can use InfoDrainage for Civil 3D to export from the design from Civil 3D over to InfoDrainage. Let's go to this. So here I have a pipe network. There's a surface of some sort tied to that. you're going to have a tab called InfoDrainage. At some point, I would think they're going to change that. One of your questions might be what version. This is Civil 3D 2025 I'm working in, and the InfoDrainage 2025.1 is the latest version of InfoDrainage. Okay. So if you wanted to export this design, this layout to InfoDrainage, you just go here, okay, tell it which file you're creating. I'll call it export to InfoDrainage or ID, replace it, sure. Okay, what do I want to send? I want to send my storm network and the existing surface with the FG in it. That's the surface name in the drawing. It's called existing plus FG. Could be called whatever, right? Now we do some part mapping. So in Civil 3D, we're looking for a 21-inch pipe, which is going to match the InfoDrainage pipe 21-inch pipe. Then we have a PVC 12-inch, et cetera, et cetera. And then you do mappings for your junctions as well. Once you're ready, you finish, and it exports. So now you could go here to InfoDrainage, open that file. Let's go up a couple here. And there's the pipe network. That can be viewed like this in 2D, can be viewed in 3D. You can zoom to particular structures, or go to, they call it here, okay? Doesn't zoom out very well, okay, like that. And then you'll see the actual structures that you have are all listed here, the structures and pipes. These are the structures, and then the connections are the pipes. Whoops. And there's my pipe table. And back to this. So then you'd use InfoDrainage to, calculate the water values, make changes to the network, and then that can be exported or imported back into Civil 3D, which of course is the best place to create sheets and output, PDFs and that sort of stuff. Nothing's really a lot better at that than AutoCAD, right? Civil 3D and AutoCAD. Okay, I will entertain questions. If anyone has questions, comments, bring it up.
Thank you, Tim, for that wonderful presentation. Let me go to the questions. Okay, the first question is, am I required to use Civil 3D in order to use InfoDrainage?
Oh, no, you're not. You can buy, or you can subscribe, excuse me, use the correct term. You can subscribe to InfoDrainage, and it'll run alone without Civil 3D being on the machine even. So no, you don't have to subscribe to Civil 3D in order to be able to use InfoDrainage.
Great.
If you do subscribe to both, then what you want to do is make sure you download and use InfoDrainage Ultimate, which is kind of the version that has the tools that show up here in Civil 3D, this InfoDrainage tab with these functions here, okay? That's called InfoDrainage Ultimate.
Oh, got it. Thank you, Tim.
Okay.
And let's go to the next question. Does Autodesk Water have other solutions for water infrastructure? When can we learn more?
Okay. Yes, they do. What used to be Innovize, they have, of course, InfoDrainage. They also have a product called InfoWorks ICM, integrated catchment modeling. That's for sewer, storm drain, flood modeling. Then water distribution, this would be, I'm delivering water under pressure, like drinking water and water for the showers and all that, right? So water distribution modeling, that's InfoWater Pro. That one works with inside ArcGIS. So you're going to be required to have an ArcGIS um, license in order to use InfoWater Pro. And then water infrastructure asset management, that's the InfoWorks WS Pro Water Systems WS. Okay. And that's something that is going to be used by like the city of, like in my case, I'm in Reading. So the city of Reading would use that to manage their water infrastructure, drainage, delivery, etc. Okay. So yes,
Okay.
they do. Now, when are we going to show that? Huli, we have a seminar planned to talk about more of this on July, is it 30th or
Yep, 31st. But yeah,
July
we have,
31st? So that's the
yeah,
when you can learn more from us about it. Um, so
absolutely.
yeah,
Thank you for bringing that up, Tim. Yeah,
you bet.
absolutely. We have a webinar planned for July 31st on efficient water planning with InfoWorks, ICM. So yeah, that's when you can learn more. It's not up in our website yet, but it will be by tomorrow. So you can just go and register. And even if you cannot make it, you will get the on demand recording. So we highly encourage you to register. And if we don't have further questions, Tim, is there anything you want to add, or are we good?
Nothing in particular, no.
Okay, just want to make sure we're not forgetting
Yep.
anything. And also want to let you guys know about our upcoming webinars. We have one coming up next on June 26th about what's new in Inventor 2025. And then on June 27th, we'll have what's new in Revit 2025. So, yeah, you have the registration page. I think it's on the left hand. You can click there and register to any of the webinars you find interesting. And again, if you cannot make it, you will get the recording. And I would also like to remind you all that if you want to also learn more of these topics in detail, you can take a custom training with Tim. And we also offer group classes online. So, yeah, please be sure to be checking the Microcap website and do not hesitate to contact us if you have further questions. So, thank you, Tim, for this
You're
great
welcome.
presentation.
Thank you. And everybody, thanks for attending.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.